Your AC is blowing warm, so you do what almost everyone does. You drive to the parts store, grab one of those $15 recharge cans off the shelf, and hook it up. It feels smart, it feels cheap, and it might just be one of the most expensive mistakes you can make on your car. Because that can doesn't fix what's actually wrong and used wrong, it can turn a small, cheap repair into a huge one, or even damage your AC for good. So before you ever screw one of those onto your car, watch this, because I'm going to show you exactly why you should not and what to do instead. Real quick before we start, tap subscribe. This is where I hand you the money-saving car fixes, shops hope you never learn, and it takes 1 second. Now let's get into it. Here's my promise. By the end of this, you'll understand why that recharge can is a trap. You'll know the one kind of can that can wreck your whole AC system, the one mechanics genuinely hate, and you'll know the honest right way to actually get your air cold again and keep it that way. And stick around, because there is one specific situation where a DIY recharge is okay, and I'll tell you exactly when, so you're not throwing money away either direction. Let me start with why everyone reaches for that can, because I get it. Your AC's warm, it's summer, you're miserable, and there's a shelf full of cans promising ice cold air for 15 bucks with a little gauge and a hose. Compared to a shop visit, it feels like a no-brainer. The problem is that the whole premise is wrong, and once you understand why, you'll never look at those cans the same way. Here's the truth that changes everything. Your car's air conditioning is a sealed system, completely sealed. It is designed to hold the exact same refrigerant for years and years without ever needing more. This is not like your washer fluid or your oil, where topping it off is normal maintenance. You are not supposed to add refrigerant on a schedule. Now, before I show you the right way, one thing, because it'll save you more than any single video I make, everything I teach on this channel, every fix, every trick, every shop scam I put into one guide called Don't Get Fleeced. The complete playbook, read your own check engine codes, decode every dashboard light, know which recommended services are real and which are pure padding, and walk into any shop already knowing exactly what your car needs and what it should cost. It's one PDF. It costs less than a single diagnostic fee. And it lives on your phone, so it's right there in your pocket in the parking lot when a mechanic hands you a number. If you're tired of feeling like an easy target, this is how you stop being one. Link's in the description in the pinned comment. Grab it, then let's get your AC sorted. So follow the logic. If your system is actually low on refrigerant, that means it's leaking. There is a hole, a worn seal, or a bad connection somewhere letting it escape. That's the only way a sealed system loses refrigerant. It doesn't just use it up. So think about what you're really doing when you dump a can in. You're pouring refrigerant into a system with a hole in it. It's like filling a bucket that's got a crack in the bottom. Sure, it holds water for a little while, but it's all gonna leak right back out. Your air will blow cold for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then you're right back to warm, standing in the parts store, buying another can. You haven't fixed anything. You've just paid to temporarily hide a leak that's still there, quietly getting worse. And that's the best case scenario. Now let me tell you how it goes wrong, because this is where it gets expensive. Quick pause first. If this is already making you rethink that can in your cart, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this reach more people before they make the mistake. And drop a comment. Have you ever used one of these recharge cans? Did the cold last or did it come right back? I read every one and I bet I know the answer. Now, the 3 ways this can really cost you. Danger number 1, overcharging. This is the big one with the DIY cans, especially the ones with the little pressure gauge that tell you to fill until it's in the green. Here's the problem. That gauge is reading pressure, but the correct amount of refrigerant in your car is measured by weight, precisely, down to the ounce. Pressure can read fine while your system is actually overfilled, because pressure changes with temperature and a dozen other things. And too much refrigerant is genuinely bad. An overcharged system builds excessive pressure. It makes your AC cool worse, not better. And it puts real strain on your compressor. That's the expensive part. The one that can cost you $1,000 or more. So people grab a $15 can to save money, overfill the system trying to get it cold enough, and end up stressing the single priciest component in the whole setup. That's how a cheap can leads to a big bill. Danger number 2, and this is the one that makes mechanics cringe, the stop leak cans. A lot of those recharge cans on the shelf have added stop leak or sealer in them, advertised as sealing up leaks automatically. Here's what actually happens. That sealer is designed to harden when it meets air or moisture, which is exactly what's happening at a leak. but it doesn't know the difference between your tiny leak and the inside of your AC components. So it can gum up and clog your system from the inside, your condenser, your lines, the tiny passages in your compressor. Now, a simple leak repair becomes a much bigger, much more expensive job because that goop has to be cleaned out of everything. And here's the kicker. It doesn't just wreck your car's system. When you finally take it to a shop, that sealer can ruin the shop's expensive recovery machine, the thousands of dollars equipment they use to service AC. So a lot of shops will now refuse to even touch a car that's had stop leak put in it, or they'll charge you extra to deal with the contamination. One $15 can with sealer in it can genuinely make your car harder and pricier to fix anywhere. Mechanics hate these for a reason. Danger number 3 is about what's actually in some of these cans and your safety. The refrigerant itself is under high pressure and extremely cold. Get it on your skin or in your eyes and it causes instant frostbite, which is why doing this wrong is genuinely dangerous. And some of the cheapest cans out there contain additives or even flammable substances marketed as cooling boosters that don't belong in your system and can be a real hazard. You're dealing with a pressurized system that you may not fully understand, and the cans make it look a lot simpler and safer than it is. Let me take a quick breath here, because I don't want to just tell you what not to do. I want to give you the right move. And real quick, if this kind of here's what the shop won't tell you breakdown is what you're here for, I'll mention this once. I put the complete playbook, how to handle every part of your car without getting ripped off, into one guide called Don't Get Fleeced. It's linked in the description and the pinned comment if you want it. Now, back to your AC, here's what to actually do. Step 1, before you assume it's even low on refrigerant at all, rule out the free stuff, because 8 times out of 10, warm air is not a refrigerant problem. It's often something that costs you nothing. A clogged cabin air filter choking your airflow, a condenser caked in bugs and grime that just needs a rinse, a simple glitch that clears with a reset, or the compressor clutch not engaging because of a blown fuse or relay. All of that makes your air warm, and none of it is fixed by a recharge can. You'd be dumping refrigerant into a system that was never even low. So check those first. I've got other videos walking through each one, and they'll save you the price of the can entirely. Step 2, if you've ruled all that out and your system genuinely is low, then remember that means you have a leak, and the right move is to fix the leak, not feed it. Here's what proper AC service actually looks like so you know what you're paying for. A good shop finds the leak, usually with a special UV dye that glows under a light or an electronic sniffer that detects escaping refrigerant. They repair whatever's leaking, often a seal, an O-ring, or a component. Then they do it right. They pull all the old refrigerant out, vacuum the system down to remove any air and moisture, and recharge it with the exact amount of refrigerant by weight to your car's precise spec. That's the difference. Done that way, your AC blows cold and stays cold because the hole is gone and the charge is correct. It costs more than a can up front, but you pay once instead of buying cans all summer while the problem gets worse. Now, the honest part, I promise, the one time a DIY recharge is actually okay. If you've got an older, high mileage car that loses a tiny bit of refrigerant very slowly over years, and you understand you're just topping it off to buy some time rather than fixing anything, you can carefully add a small amount using a plain can with no stop leak sealer in it, charged precisely to spec, not just till the gauge looks green. Even then, know that you're delaying, not fixing, and never on a system you suspect has a real leak or that's contaminated. But for most people, especially on a newer car, that warm air is telling you something needs a proper repair, and the can just masks it. Let me put the whole thing together for you. When your AC blows warm, do not grab a recharge can as your first move. First, rule out the free stuff filter, condenser, a reset, the clutch, because it usually isn't refrigerant at all. If it truly is low, understand that means a leak, and the right fix is to find and repair that leak and recharge it properly by weight, not to keep feeding a system with a hole in it. Stay far away from the stop leak cans, especially. They can turn a small repair into a big one and get your car turned away at the shop. And never overfill chasing a colder number on a gauge, because too much refrigerant stresses the expensive compressor. Do it this way and you fix it once for real instead of paying for cold air on the installment plan all summer. So here's the bottom line. That $15 recharge can looks like the cheap, smart choice, but it's usually a Band-Aid on a leak, and at worst, it's how a small problem becomes a big, expensive one. The genuinely cheap move is to rule out the free causes first, and if it really is low, fix the leak properly so it stays cold. Cheap isn't the can. Cheap is not having to do it twice. And listen, if this saved you from making that mistake, here's the honest truth. This is one fix out of dozens. Your AC, your check engine light, your brakes, the upsells at the counter. There's a right way and an expensive way for all of it. I put the complete playbook into a guide called Don't Get Fleeced. Read your own codes, decode every dashboard light, spot every upsell, and stop overpaying at any shop on any car. It's a one-time PDF, and the link is right in the description and the pinned comment. Grab it and you'll never walk into a shop unprepared again. Before you go, hit that like button. If this opens your eyes about those cans, it genuinely helps this reach more drivers about to waste their money. And drop me 2 things in the comments. First, are you dealing with warm AC right now? Tell me your car and what it's doing, and I'll point you the right way. Second, what do you want next? Should I show you how to find an AC leak yourself, or the free checks that fix warm air without spending a dime? You tell me, I'll make it. And subscribe, because I've got a whole garage full of these coming, the cheap fixes, the honest truth, and the money the dealership hopes you keep spending. Thanks for trusting me, and thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next one.